Baby Metal with Metal Fourth. It is their 5th album. I'm not letting that go. This is the next song on our track by track listen through. It is Sunset Kiss. Now, obviously, the first half of this album mostly was songs that we reacted to at the time they came out. So I dived in when this was released at midnight with Kawaii, Kawaii, which I thought was a really interesting sort of mid-track album. The first song on the album that is just Baby Metal. Obviously, this is mainly a collaboration album for the best part and featurettes and such like. I thought it was a really good mid-track album, mid-track song. I thought it really, sort of mid-album song, really sort of moved us in an interesting direction and broke up the sort of whole sense that every song up until that point had really felt like it was being a single. But anyway, we got past that and we're straight into Sunset Kiss. Now, I know this was premiered live. I haven't heard the live version. In fact, I've actually actively tried to avoid it because I wanted the first time I hear it to be the studio version to get the full feeling of what they were going for with Polyphia. Polyphia are a group who, obviously, I'm aware that there's been that sort of there's been that friendship between Polyphia and Baby Metal before. When I went to Foxfest, obviously Polyphia were playing there. Now, I know Reactomat, Benedict from Reactomat, loves to rib me for the fact that I decided to go. I was hungry. I went for lunch. I missed a lot of the Polyphia set. So I'm making up for it now by being... How many viewers have already lost? I called it the 5th album. I said Metal Fourth was the 5th album, which it is. And now I'm saying that I missed Polyphia at Foxfest to go for lunch. Anyway, I'm sorry, Polyphia. Mad skills that they've shown on previous songs, though. They are definitely hyper-talented musicians, and that kind of makes me excited about this one, because Sunset Kiss, it already sounds like it's got a different vibe. Like I said, this album started off very heavy. There's some fun songs on there, like Con Con and Ratatata, but this sounds like it's going to be something a little bit different. I've heard from people it's going to be a little bit different, as much as I've asked them not to give me spoilers. A lot of people have been excited for me to listen to this one, saying how this is going to be something a little bit different, and I've always liked when Baby Metal do something a little bit different, because that's kind of their thing. That's what makes them so special. They're not just another metal group. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they pull off here with Polyphia. The song sounds kind of interesting. You know, they got musicians as their featurette here, and, you know, I really like metal. So anyway, all right, a lot of waffle, 3.5 minutes. Let's dive in, have a little listen to this one. I'm excited. I hope this is going to sort of continue this interesting trajectory that the album seems to be going on at its mid-album point. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering why I left it from, you know, because I listened to Kawaii at midnight when it came out, and as you can see, it's clearly not midnight anymore. Basically, the minute I uploaded Kawaii, it was blocked. So I think Baby Metal are basically waiting until midday today when all the time zones align, and then they'll release the album. So that's why I just thought I'd put my listen on pause. I'll come back, I'll listen to the rest of the album now so I can enjoy it in more of a free-flowing way and just send these reactions to you as I do each and every one of them. But anyway, here we go. Sunset Kiss, let's check it out. Featuring Polyphia, track 6 from Metal Fourth. I really want to like this album, so let's keep it going. Let's keep the energy going. Okay, I'm liking that intro. I feel like it's about to come in. Okay. Oh, really loving that rhythm. Oh, that's a really good headbanger. Oh, okay. Feels like a Suicide song at this point. Nice. Love those offbeat stabs on the guitar. It's so funky, it's all that offbeat. The way those guitar stabs are landing on beat. Then all the little sounds in between. Very trippy. More acoustic and Baby Metal songs. I am really enjoying this. And that chorus, I feel like you get that stuck in your head. It's very Babe Metal though. So we have the intro and then that's the very Babe Metal kind of structure for the chorus. We knew the bridge was going to be all about the guitars, didn't we? I've got to be honest, this is actually... It's not doing anything that I shouldn't have expected, and yet it comes together. Oh wow. That was actually quite awesome. Do you know what? Look, the Karage was really good. Japanese style fried chicken. It was really good, but Polyphia, I think I owe you an apology. I apologize for missing half your set, Polyphia. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, wow. Okay, let's dive into this one a little bit. There's a lot of things to say here. Now, the first things first. I always like to, because we're always on this channel, I always like to head off anything that I can see as potential complaints, you know, so, well, not, yeah, more to address them, you know, to address what I think people might be thinking, both on the positive and negative when listening to this song. And I get it. I know, I can understand why this is not one of the singles, because this song just feels like a straight, like, it's a straight metal song. You know, it's about Babe Metal doing the vocals all on their own. It's got a chorus which sounds very much like Babe Metal doing Babe Metal. It feels like, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's taking them in a particularly different direction in any big way. But for me, it's all the details, it's all the subtleties that make this actually kind of like one of those songs that I think if you re-listen to this album over and over again, I think this is going to be one of those songs that you're going to treasure the more and more you listen to it. So for example, how I said like with Ratatatatatatatata, when that first came out, that was one of the songs that I think hit people most because it was just so bombastic, the music video, the energy, the craziness, fun. That was a single kind of song. That's the kind of song that just jumps out, grabs you, and makes you go, whoa, okay. But it's the sort of song that on repeat listen, I think it loses a lot of its spark and just becomes like, okay, it's fun. This is one of those songs where it's not so much about the immediate, wow, what is going on here? But I think this is one of those songs that, like I say, over repeat listens you will treasure because, again, it is that difference. And I think this is a good contrast because both of these are really fun songs. Sunset Kiss and Ratatata are fun songs, but I think they're a great contrast because, I mean, obviously, when it comes to Ratatata, there's not a huge amount of subtlety or it's not the most detailed song ever. It's just kind of like in your face all the time. Whereas this, it's those little things. It's the fact that you've got the guitar stabs, very normal sound, especially for Babe Metal, but they're all kind of offbeat. I love that kind of offbeat feel you got to it. I can never remember the name of the video game song that some people like and some people hate, the one which is like up, down, left, right. A little bit of that. I'm seeming to remember a little bit of that vibe going on here. Yeah, it's got that kind of offbeat vibe, and then all the little sounds in between. It's those little sudden beat, just where everything goes silent for a second and comes back. Just a little flash of a moment of just something that grabs your attention, or just sort of like sparks a little bit of a sort of visceral reaction. And it's just things like little details and things happening all over the place. You have a little runs on the guitar where it's kind of like a harmonic. I'm not super good with my guitar terms. I've got to be honest. There's so many guitar experts online that I've kind of decided the guitar's the one thing that I'm going to be less of an expert on. I'm going to focus more on the other instruments that I like. But, you know, there's really cool guitar sounds happening in there, which is what you'd expect from Polyphia. And the song kind of charges along, and it's really good. Yeah, It's all pretty much in the same tempo, all pretty much in the same rhythm. It's all kind of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. It's all fairly standard structure stuff, but it's just really detailed. And I feel like that's kind of what makes this a really cool example of a featurette. Baby Metal, for their part, are doing a song that is very much just kind of, it's simple Baby Metal. It definitely has, that kind of style of chorus that makes Baby Metal songs so fun and has done in the past. It's got it's on its own, without Polyphia's input, this would be just a nice, solid Baby Metal, middle-of-the-road track. But then you add those little details that I'm sure have come about as a result of Polyphia, and you end up with a song that is much more... Yeah, it's almost like they've given this song... I would almost feel like this song was written, like there was the bare bones of a song, and then they kind of offered it like, hey, we got something which is pretty cool here. Polyphia, what do you want to do with this? Bring them in as a featurette and just allow them to colour in between the, sort of draw in between the dots or colour between the lines or whatever the expression is. I don't know. And, that's what I feel they've really done here. So that's why I got to give massive respect to that. And that solo in the middle as well, really cool. And one of the things that helped about that, as well as the fact the solo was obviously really, really good. It was one of those solos that had a sort of melody where you could follow it. It wasn't just twiddle for the sake of it. It was fast moving. It was impressive. It was engaging, but it actually felt like it was sort of building up as it went. But it wasn't just that. It was also the fact that, like, I always say this, the worst thing you can do with a guitar solo is just go, all right, well, the second chorus has happened now, so play the same backing again and someone will do a guitar solo. That's the really boring kind of worst tropes of the 60s and 70s kind of rock and roll guitar solo where you just don't bother. You just get the guitarist to do a solo over the same backing. There's still way too much of that. But what I really liked here is that the backing felt like it kind of shifted. It felt like you got to feel like the backing build up underneath the solo as well. It really felt like it was this sort of almost like homologated piece of design, that the whole sound just kind of like when we went into the bridge, the song knew what it was going to do and it kind of expanded around the solo and then just blasted us into that last chorus. It was simple, it was concise, it wasn't overly flashy on the surface, but it was a song with a lot of detail. And as I say, right now I'm thinking, okay, that's cool, I'll move on to the next track. I enjoyed that, but something tells me that if I listen to this album over and over again in like a year, 2 years time, it's going to be one of the songs that I'm going to be most happy to hear come around again. I get that feeling. It feels like the good melody, the concise runtime, and just the amount of detail that actually makes it kind of interesting, engaging, will make this a fun re-listen. There you go. So those are my thoughts as always. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. Sunset Kiss by Polyphia. Good album track. I understand why it's not a single, but I still think I think it's one of those ones that's got a bit more of a longevity to it. Certainly enjoyed it for just being, and also on an album that it does go to some wild places, which once again that's something that I want Baby Metal to do. It's something I think they should do. I think this song also serves as a good anchor, for songs like Song 3, which play around with their ideas. And I think I did say this. I think Song 3 so far is my least favorite song. I think it kind of trips on itself. I think it trips over a little bit too much on the trying to be heavy and with the Slaughter to Prevail aspect, kind of just kind of falls over on that a little bit. For me, this is an anchor. This is a song that is just kind of really well balanced, a nice middle point song. Again, great stuff. So anyway, like I say, we're going to move on to the next. We've got the music video coming out here in 15 minutes for My Queen, which is why I've timed this all perfectly. I'm going to upload this video now. I'm sure it'll get blocked the minute I do, and then I'm going to do a reaction to My Queen featuring Spiritbox, who I've never heard of. And then I'm assuming when that music video goes live, so will all these other videos I've been doing. So anyway, that's fine. None of this matters. If you're watching this back in retrospect, none of this matters. So I'm just going to leave it there. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.